welcome to another popper and stickbait video. Well, today is a video all about my trip to Trinidad, which took place last November, so November 24. We were fishing with a company called Monster Tarpon that was based out of a place called Chaguaramas Bay, and we stayed at the Cruise Inn hotel there. Throughout the video, I'm going to stick in various clips and pictures of what went on there, so you'll be able to see what happened and what things were like. So this is the room, huge bed, obviously AC. And the pool. Over there by the lighthouse is the bar and restaurant. It's very nice. Quite hot here, 30 degrees. There's a lot of money in boats here, hell of a lot of money. So far so good, let's go fishing. Yes, it's very pretty there, as you can see. We put some pictures of some of the plants in there and the marina, and the whole place was actually a really very nice place to stay. You'll have to excuse the fact I've got a crib sheet here because I can't remember it all. We did fish in the rainy season, so we were told to take waterproofs, and I've never been in the tropics when it's rained. It rained like hell. We'll put a clip in of it now. So here I am in Trinidad in the rainy season. My God, it's raining. It's raining so hard. But the weird thing is, it's 30 degrees. And the rain's really, really warm. But luckily, I'm upstairs in my air-conditioned room. But the rain was really weird. It was warm, so you could be standing there literally soaked and you wouldn't be cold, which is very strange. Now, we've been told the previous week had been one of the best weeks they'd ever had. Between 6 anglers, they had over 250 fish. 99% were tarpon, and the biggest went to about 150 pounds. So we were really ready to be really on it. So our first day came. There were 2 boats. Unfortunately, on our first day, I blanked. Our boat hooked 2 and landed 1. Tarpon are difficult to land at the best of times. So the old adage was you might hook 10 and then you'll only actually get 1 to the boat. Well, we only hooked 2. We were quite disappointed with that, to be perfectly honest, and we were told as the week went on that this is the worst week's fishing they could remember. Annoying, but it's called fishing, not catching. So as I said, it was run by a company called Monster Tarpon. They had 2 boats. They had Jonathan on the bigger boat, he's the owner of the outfit, and then Ryan, who was on the smaller, it's only smaller by about that much, boat. I was predominantly on Ryan's boat, and I must say his boat handling was exceptional. Particularly when you had a fish on that was trying to go all over the place, he would position the boat so the line was nowhere near engines or going around anything that could cause any damage. So now let me tell you about the tackle that was provided, because everything was provided. So the majority of times the rods were very good, as were most of the reels. They were, if you like pen spin fishers, that kind of thing, they were ideal. The multipliers were Shimano Talicas, so obviously moving up a range. And there were also some rather good pen one-piece, I won't call them boat rods, but the live baiting rods is probably the best way of describing. So of the reel that I did take, I took my own Shimano Saragossa 14,000 XG with a Comexus knob on it. This reel was absolutely sublime. It did the job perfectly. It screams when these tarpon pull. Very, very impressive. Highly recommend that. The thing that I had on there, which I hadn't used before, was this braid. This is a new braid via Gigabyte in Sussex. So this is the Ocean Devil Silk Cast. This is P6. Now, price-wise, this is about half the price of Tasline Elite that I normally use, but it's very, very good, to the point I'm probably going to switch over in time to only using this stuff. Highly recommended. The only other thing I did take with me was a butt pad. I like to fight fish from a butt pad, saves any pain. One of the things that they had on their rods, because they would use a cushion, which goes on the end of a rod butt. So it's a big foam thing that helps protect your groin. Unfortunately, most of the rods had no butt caps on them. These butt caps had actually come off in these cushions. So they were leaving potentially a piece of possibly frayed fiberglass at the end that could dig in. So the actual fishing, the reason why we went in the first place. I'd never caught tarpon before, so they were something that I wanted to tick off my bucket list. We used live baits 99% of the time, and they were mullet type things, that sort of size on 6.0, I think, circle hooks. I've never actually used circle hooks before, so yet again it was interesting being told when you get a bite, the line will start to go out, and you just put the bail arm over and let it go tight, hold on, and then the hard work starts. The best fish I had was about 100 pounds, and I had a 70 and an 80 as well. When you get fish of that sort of size, the fight can last an hour. That sounds difficult to believe, but these are big fish. They're nearly 6 foot long, and they just put their broad side to the resistance of you hooking them, and they're very difficult to get in. Because they are a species of fish that can go into sort of brackish water, the one thing you don't want them doing, and they will do it, is coming up for a gulp of air. If they get a gulp of air, it'll add 15 minutes to the fight. And you're just like, no, please. But yeah, really, really good fun. Once you finish, you've got the fish to the boat. Some fish would actually come out of the water if they weren't too big for photographs. We'll put photographs in around now to show you this. But the bigger ones actually stayed in the water just purely for their own safety and fish welfare.
Well done.
We fished one place called the Pig Pen, which is between two islands, and you look at it and you just go, why the hell are we here? And you see these odd bubbles here and there. Well, they're fish. They're fish letting air out, and the tarpon. And we had all our biggest fish from there. So yeah, that was really good fun. As I said earlier on, we did struggle a bit at times. We tend to catch 2 or 3 fish in the morning and then 3 or 4 in the afternoon, something like that. I think the most we had in a day might have been 15 between 3 anglers. So not lots, but we caught and we were having fun doing it. Our skipper did take us to the marina where the 2 boats are actually moored. And at this mooring, they've got 2 live bait tanks, for want of a better word. They're that sort of size and deep and mesh. And they just keep all their bait in the marina. And they said, right, if you want to have a laugh, we'll fish for tarpon here. And we were looking at, because there were boats and piles, everything everywhere. And he said, do your drag up as tight as you possibly can. So, okay then. And you literally just pitch one of these baits 10, 15 foot, and instantly you'd get hit. There were so many tarpon there waiting. These fish were so greedy that in one case 2 of us hooked the same fish. This tarpon took 2 live baits in one go. Highly enjoyable. What else can I tell you? Yes, so circle hooks, they use 75-pound leaders, which surprised me. I always thought with tarpon you use a much, much heavier leader purely because of their rasping pads, because they don't have teeth as such. And as a result of that, they can wear through your leader. But no, we had no bite-offs, and we hardly lost any fish. In fact, from the boat I was on, I think there was only 1 that was hooked and lost. So these circle hooks did pretty good, and the guys at Monster Tarpon, they really do know what they're doing. They do this every day throughout the year. They go out to catch tarpon. Biggest they had had been £250. I don't want to catch a tarpon that big. You'd be there for about a week fighting the thing. We did take lures as well. One of the guys did take some stick baits. That's what we were advised to take, stick baits and maybe some divers. He had a couple of fish on lures. I decided, even though I lure fish out and out, that if they're recommending me to use live baits, that's what I'm going to use. And I didn't actually even cast any of my lures at all for the week. Right, that comes to the end of the video. So I'd like to thank Dave Lewis for a lot of the stills you're going to see throughout this video. I'd also like to thank Ryan and his crewman on the boat from Monster Tarpon, and of course the content angler Adrian Evans for filming and video and editing this for me. Many thanks now, bye bye.